I'm trying to manage my mental health problems in the healthiest way possible, because I can't do what all my friends are doing, which is just managing them by taking drugs. All my friends are just taking marijuana and magic mushrooms. And look, I know that these things have medicinal properties, but the reality is this: my friends did loads of drugs in their teen years, 20s, and early 30s, when you're supposed to do them. I did fuck all drugs and have a macro dose, so I can't now micro dose. They know what drugs are useful for them and what amounts they need to do in a way that's medically helpful. And I've done fuck all drugs. Listen, I have smoked weed, but so much less weed than you think I have based on my haircut, beard, and taste in music. And apart from that, the only other drug I've taken is MDMA, which I've taken on 2 separate occasions at music festivals. The first time was in 2012. I was with my friend Liz. I thought, Liz is going to take it. And then when she was taking it, she said, listen, OK, I'm not pressuring you to take this MDMA, but if you take it, I will look after you. And I thought, I've known Liz a long time. I really trust Liz. This is as good a time as any for me to try this. So I took the MDMA. Within 5 minutes of me taking the MDMA, I would say Liz regretted that offer more than any she has ever made in her entire fucking life. Because within 5 minutes of me taking the MDMA, I was this close to her face, and I was just saying, Liz! Liz! It's not working! Liz! It's not working! Liz, I think I've broken drugs! I kept shouting, I think I've broken drugs, with my pupils the size of saucepans. Imagine being in Liz's position and trying to come up on MDMA while a man who looks like a fire-damaged waxwork of comedian Jason Mantzoukas is repeatedly screaming the phrase, I think I've broken drugs. And the second time I took it, I did have a better time, but only because my friend and girlfriend dusted it into my beer like giving a dog deworming medication. And apart from that, I have done no other drugs. I have never taken cocaine, which I imagine will be a great source of relief to every single person in this room, because no one has got to this point in the show and is thinking, this guy needs to do some cocaine. I actually think he would benefit from talking faster and more intensely about himself, his opinions, and his emotions. Never taken cocaine, never going to. You can't start taking cocaine at 39. No story that ends well involves the sentence, and at the dawn of his 40s, he embraced the cane. But when I said to my friend Matt, I've never taken cocaine and I'm never going to, the only thing he said was, with that nose, what a waste.
It's important to lie to yourself sometimes. I do it all the time, especially with regards to my health, you know. I'll have 15 pints a night for 8 months in a row and then be like, I think I have long COVID. Something's going on with me, you know. I'm cutting about going, yeah, I think the reason I am how I am is because nobody ever taught me how to put myself first. And it's like, no, the vapes are full of lead. That's why. I'm like, actually, my brain holds too many emotions. No, I've been taking 1,000 puffs on a lead-filled pipe every day for 10 years. A lead pipe. I've been smoking the shit that killed Colonel Mustard. 10 years, and that's why I'm like wondering why I'm fucking mentally ill. Hey, speaking of psychosis, have you ever noticed how the plots of all the Disney Pixar movies are very similar to textbook psychosis delusions? I reckon they got a guy in the Pixar writer's room who's fucking tapped in the head, but he can't quit because his ideas for kids' films are all bangers. Like, they're all in the canteen having some lunch, throwing ideas around. It's all dog shit, but they get to him and he's like, oh, I can't eat this meal. I think a rat cooked this. Say that again. Coming into the office all sad. Yeah, I think my wife's cheating on me with a bee.
Because everything with humans starts with porn. Like, it starts with sex, and then, like, the internet was about porn, and then it was about human knowledge and connection. Like if aliens arrive, we'll fuck them and film it, and then we'll be like, who are these creatures? What have they got to teach us? They're obviously beautiful. Beautiful, so many tits, and the beautiful creatures we can learn from now that we fucked them. And like, someone would have been fucking the wheel, and then it would have started rolling. He'd be like, oh shit, we can do something with this thing I was fucking. Could make a wheelbarrow. I feel like the wheelbarrow would have been first, you know. So, yeah, I don't know if there's anything funny per se about that, but Yeah. Have you got any wheelbarrow material, man? No. We'll work on that bit. There's probably already conspiracy theories about animals and fucking humans and for humans fucking aliens and all that kind of... There would be alien human, you know, because that's how people are now. Everything's a conspiracy. Like, I was sitting on the plane down here, sitting next to a dude. All I said was, geez, the weather's been crazy lately. He goes, yeah, well, the government's got weather machines now. And they're creating fires and floods up the east coast of Australia so they can destroy the houses and build a railway. What happened to small talk? What happened to small talk? The whole point of the weather chat is so you don't have to hear their ideas. That's the whole point. But now the weather's edgy. The weather's an edgy topic now. Like, my dad is so conservative. If I go, fucking hell, it's hot this summer, he's like, it's always been hot. It's not getting any hotter. The Earth goes through cycles. There's no evidence. There's records. I can prove. You could drop my dad in the desert. He'd be like, not hot. Just to prove his point. Not hot. Not hot. Like, he'd die. He'd die. Not hot. Just before he dies, he'd be like, I'm sick of women's sport. Like, just to get one more out. You know what I mean?
Have you heard the police are saying they're going to go on strike next? Yeah, women will finally feel safe. Mixed response there. Listen, the police are a bit rubbish, aren't they? They keep asking us for help. Have you any information on this murder? Didn't even know it had happened. I can ask around, but I've had no training whatsoever. How many murders do the police actually solve? Yeah, not including the ones they've done. They do the odd one, just to improve their stats, I think. Detectives, listen up, please, lads. 3 murders this year, any leads? Oh, yes, Sarge. I'm pretty sure that one was me. We've only bloody solved one. Not so keen on laughing at the police, I can sense. Happily let me call my daughter a cunt. You know, the police say they solve 4% of burglaries, and I think they've rounded up from none. Have you ever tried reporting a burglary to the police? They say, oh, you're never going to get your stuff back, you know, we can give you a crime number, your insurance rate will just go up. Better off going around to the neighbour's house and nicking their stuff. Most burglars are smack addicts. How they're not catching these guys? Nothing we can do, sir. The assailant left no DNA evidence behind. Officer, the man shat in my kitchen. And he's still asleep in there now. It's got to the stage with the police. If they solve a crime, we're surprised. Yeah, let's say if your bicycle's stolen, you get a phone call from a police officer saying they've found your bike. What? And they've arrested the bloke who nicked it. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck off, Dave. So people are now trying to catch criminals themselves, aren't they? Like these paedophile hunters. Have you heard of paedophile hunters? Yeah, they're not the ones on the horses, that's the fox hunters. Totally different crew. Actually, it'd be great if that was how they hunted paedophiles. Groups of posh people on horseback giving packs of dogs the scent of anorak. My family have been hunting paedophiles for generations. It's not cruel, we're simply culling the paedophile population. There's too many of them, you see. Protesters on the roadside. There's not too many paedophiles, there's too many children!
So we had guinea pigs growing up, and we kept them in our garage, and in the hot Ohio summers, they absolutely died in there. And my sister reminded me, we named one of the pigs Brownie, which in retrospect is extra sad. She was out there straight bacon at 375. And my mom felt awful, okay? So she let us give him a proper burial in the backyard. And me and my sisters took those hard-bodied pigs, not like ripped, but like rigor mortis hard, and we buried him in the easiest place to dig. We put him right in the sandbox. And then a couple of neighborhood dogs came along, snarfed him right up. It was a tragedy all around. And I really feel like it could have been avoided if we just had a dad. I don't know what dads do, but I assume it's regulate the garage temp. They're always in there, tinkering around, planning their escape. No, my dad didn't escape as much as he was asked to leave. Escorted off the premises. Some of you know this about my dad. When I was little, he moved down to Orlando, Florida to become an actor, which is not where you go. He did land a few gigs. He was an extra in the television series of Swamp Thing. He was a truck driver in that, and that's it. And they took things into his own hands, started his own business, and now he's in the sign spinning biz. He calls it live roadside commercials or character directionals. He likes to devise a character and then present it to the cars. He's a leprechaun in front of this Irish pub called the Carryman, for example, and the rest of his characters are available on his website. So we grew up, around a lot of costumes, like thrifting and going to Ray's Circus of Value and stuff. For example, he loves a morph suit. You know what those are? It's like what Olympic speed skaters wear, but there's no hole cut for your face. So you're just in a single Lycra suit, just one color, head to toe, no skin showing. He wears an orange one in front of the Orange Julius. It doesn't rain that often in Orlando, and he called me one time after a shift. He said there was a sudden downpour, and I almost waterboarded myself. I was like, I couldn't breathe, it was stuck to my face, my fingers are covered, the zipper's on the back of my head, I nearly died. I was like, I had to get into the car, I was so embarrassed. I was like, it's only embarrassing when it's wet? Or...
So, psychics, fortune tellers, reverse historians, whatever you want to call them. Now, nobody panic, all right? It was just one time I went, one time when I was 19 years old, and continually from then until now, heaps. I've seen heaps. So many. I don't know what the collective term is for a group of psychics. Is it a wank? I think it's a scam. I think it might be a scam. I think it's a flock of seagulls and a scam of psychics. I have seen a scam of psychics. I've seen more psychics than I've seen dentists. That's not good. Now, I will give you all a moment to judge me. Hope you enjoyed it. Because I'm aware you can't not. I know it's impossible to not have a reaction when someone tells you they see psychics. It's like if someone said to you, oh, I don't like cheese. You can't not go, get out. I get it, but I don't know why, in particular, psychics has so much judgment on it. I'm not religious, but if you are, I don't judge you. You might like to listen to a man talk about a man in the sky. I would rather listen to a woman in a purple dress talk about me for half an hour. Right? And yet, I'm the weirdo. I don't get it. And I know you're going, Celia, you seem like a rational, intelligent human being. Why would you ever do this? How have you ended up in this place? Here is why, okay? My approach to any problem in my life, if I have a problem in my life, I will do one of two things. Either I will do nothing, completely ignore it, or I will do magic. By which I mean a ridiculous immediate solution, okay? For example, I was living in a flat share, and 10 months before I moved out, the light bulb in the toilet blew, okay? So I weed in the dark for 10 months. Yeah. I love that it didn't even cross my mind to go, oh, maybe I should fix that. I just went, well, this is my life now. Part of my life involves weeing in the dark. Solutions are for people too dumb to realise you can ignore problems. Magic, I am lazy and impatient and gullible, but I still want to be happier and healthier and more mentally stable. So yeah, I'll try it. It sounds easier. Yeah, I'll read your self-help book. I'll, burn your candle. I'll hold your healing crystals close to my skin. I'll go to your psychic. I'll do all that stuff. It sounds easier. Like, I'm likely to say something like, yeah, I can't commit to a gym membership. Do you have something in the way of an amulet? Or like a 7-minute incantation that I could do in between binge eating sessions. Is that a thing? I mean, I hear what you're saying about exercising and eating spinach, but I would much rather drink tequila and sleep in a pentangle of salt. Is that... Like, wouldn't you do it? If it worked, wouldn't you do it? Of course you would. And here's the thing. As much as I want it to work, because otherwise why am I doing, I do think most of it is bullshit. And, how's this? I look down on anyone else who does it. I'm a horrible person. It's terrible. Once someone said to me, they go, Celia, you've got to stop being so negative, because what you're doing when you're being negative is you are projecting hate into the universe, and the universe is just going to send that negativity straight back to you. And in my head, I thought, fuck off with your hippie bullshit. And yet, as we were having that conversation, I had healing crystals in my bra. Yeah, it's difficult to take the rational high ground when you have magic rocks in your underwear. But I wasn't keeping anything else in there. Why not? Might work. I'll just put them in there. Why not? And I would genuinely forget that I'd put them in there, and I'd go to have a shower and I'd be like, clonk, clonk. I'm like, what's that? Oh, that's right. I'm a fuckhead.
My psychiatrist said that anxiety can lead to depression. I wish it would hurry up. Anxiety's way worse. It's like a sushi train, just different dishes every day. Sashimi betrayal, teriyaki brain cancer. Me so scared. And you're just up 3 a.m, texting all your friends, we cool, just... Depression's way better. You're in your pyjamas, drinking custard out of the box in a Xanax haze. It's relaxing. No wonder people slit their wrists in a bubble bath. They're just like, let's send this to the next level, brother. Let's fucking send it. If it's so bad, why'd the Japanese name a forest after it? Usually my carer's tasing me by now. She's doing karaoke, the bitch. But that's her choice. She was asking if I wanted to go to an escape room. I'm like, no, I can just eat buffalo wings without a napkin and try and turn a doorknob. I was one of those leash kids, you remember that? It doesn't affect you, hey? It doesn't affect... 61. Have you noticed the more genetic problems a dog has, the fancier it is? Like, if it's got breathing problems, the owner went to a private school. I think because it's in bad taste to have a Ferrari now, you just got to be like, yeah, I can afford to keep a Pomeranian bulldog on dialysis, I'm killing it. I got a litter of asthmatic pugs at home, yeah. I got a Labradoodle on enough Prozac to save Anthony Bourdain. Do you think when aliens come and take over, they'll do the same? They'll be like, fuck Chris Hemsworth, I want the guy with the sleep apnea mask. See that guy in the mobility scooter with all the flags of the UN on it? That's mine, Trevor. He's a rescue. I don't even need to pick up his shit because he's got a colostomy bag, so it's a 2-for-1 meal deal.
The last film I watched was one called Uncut Gems. I saw that in the cinemas. Blew my mind, this film. This was amazing. High-octane Adam Sandler movie. I was taken aback by this movie. Beautiful stuff. As soon as the movie ended, I'm like, that's the best movie I've ever seen. I thought that. And then the credits started to roll, and I was sitting next to an old lady, and all she said was, there was a lot of yelling. And normally I wouldn't have said anything, like I let people have their opinions, but the movie, it affected me so much that I had to say something, you know? I turned to her, I was like, I wouldn't have had to if you give me some of your popcorn like I asked. It's me doing the yelling. But I watched that movie Little Women. Watched it on my iPhone. Get those women even littler. It's so small, couldn't believe it. I'm on the iPhone, I'm mucking about on there. I'm always trying to be ahead of the tech game. Do you know what I mean? You have to be one step ahead because you don't know what they're going to do to you. I'm trying to be ahead of big tech. I was like born into the computer era, you know? I thought I'd be always good with computers. Like I thought I could do computers forever. 5 years old, that's the first time I ever went on a computer and I was like, I'm good at this. Like I knew what to do on there. Like I knew which ads not to click on, like which blokes not to talk to. I was safe on there. I had Norton antivirus running on full blast. I'm like, I'll never get aged out of this. That was my thought. I'm 27 years old now. Like I've already been aged out. Can't believe it. Nowadays, I log on to Google Chrome. It's saying I got 280 compromised passwords. I'm like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, I'm not about to change 280 passwords. I'd rather just change my life. Like, I'll be someone else, I reckon. They reckon you got to have a unique password for every website. I'm like, I don't even remember my dad's birthday. And that's my password, like...
This one is an impression of a restaurant. Finally, someone's had the courage. Okay. A little impression of a restaurant. Go on, then. Have as much salt and pepper as you like. That's good, isn't it? That is, you're like, yeah, I recognise that. That is a restaurant. And that's half the battle, recognising them. Not an Italian restaurant, though, is it? They keep the pepper to themselves. Do a little impression of someone who, for anyone who's ever messed up at work. Yeah, we've all been there. Okay, this is a hitman who's turned up to do a hit, but they've forgotten to screw the silencer onto their gun. Oh, very relatable stuff. Tough job, very tough.
My point is, things have always been changing, haven't they? Like, for the entirety of human history, things have been changing, and there have been people complaining that things are getting worse, while by and large, things have constantly been getting better. And I know it doesn't feel like that at the moment, in the world at the moment, it feels a bit sad, doesn't it? But you know, things have basically been improving, and there's just been people constantly moaning about it all the time. I mean, you know, in 1658, there was someone saying, "Have you heard of these doctors they have now? Society is going down the toilet," which, incidentally, we haven't invented yet. But when we do, I'll be totally against it. Well, why should we have to go to the doctors? In our day, when we got sick, we would just say a prayer to God and then promptly die. And can you imagine the outcry in 1701? Yeah, you've guessed it. In 1701, when Jethro Tull... A few more people getting it now. In 1701, when Jethro Tull invented the seed drill. It's all very well for you to sit there laughing about it smugly. You're familiar with the seed drill. I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen hundreds of them. At the time, people they'd have been in a riot state about it. They'd have been saying, "Oh, I think it's disgusting." And then to add insult to injury, only 8 years later, some bastard invented the piano. What's next? The clarinet? Yeah, it was the clarinet. As the order was seed drill. Are you concentrating on this. The order was C drill, piano, clarinet. If you learn nothing else tonight, learn that, memorise it. And in 1785, when Jean-Pierre Blanchard invented the first working parachute, as opposed, obviously, to a non-working parachute. But actually, when you think about it, a non-working parachute is literally anything that isn't a working parachute. For example, a table. That would be an example of a non-working parachute. A pair of reading glasses. A faulty parachute. That's another one. Another example. And a concrete breeze block hurtling onto the fast lane of the M6 with a 14-year-old head attached to it. And it's interesting, isn't it, that the people who are against change, the people who are afraid of change, they hate it in every context, don't they? Everywhere there's change, they're against it. They hate it in every situation, except one, climate change. Yeah, they don't mind that, do they? Ooh, it's a disgrace, isn't it? You can't say filthy bender bumboy up the arse anymore. Oh, the Arctic tundra's melted. Not a problem. And it's ironic, isn't it, that the Christian right, they believe so strongly in fossil fuels, but they don't actually believe in fossils. And the word trigger. Nothing triggers these people more than the word trigger, does it? Oh, you've been triggered, have you? In our day, we just said we were a bit upset. In our day, we didn't have mental health. We would just get angry. And either punch someone in the hip or struggle for years with unresolved emotions. Alienating one's family slowly over decades, whilst consistently putting down your adult daughter. Until everyone you loved loses interest in you and you die alone in a hostel in Ashton-under-Lyne. We wouldn't get triggered. Yeah, you're right, it's a silly word, but I'm not sure it's your principal problem, Derek.
I'm not much of a gun guy. I'm against them for moral reasons, sure, but mostly I don't like guns because I think guns place an unnatural limitation on the diversity of tough guys in a given population. Because if you're in a situation and there's a guy who looks like he has a gun, that's the tough guy there, right? No one else is gonna be the tough guy because it's the guy with a gun who's a tough guy. You know the kind of guy I'm talking about, right? You know the guy who looks like he has a gun, pulled up to the bar in the biggest, whitest, cleanest truck you've ever seen in your entire life. Such a big truck, so tall, way too tall for any practice. Unless you're helping Shaq move, that's not useful at all. You know what I mean? Like an aggressive window decal professing their political views, like a fundamental misunderstanding of the Punisher character from comic books. That guy. It's such a silly way to share your beliefs. Because it's a sticker. You know, from like when we were little guys, right? Like, still a sticker. If you ever see one of those guys with one of those stickers and you're like, whoa, like you're a little intimidated, if it's like, if you get an abortion, I'll kill you, you know, like on a sticker. Just picture him putting the sticker on. Just picture him standing up in the back of his Ford F-350 like... Calvin pissing on Hunter Biden. I just prefer areas where there's fewer guns. I think you get more fun tough guys there. I went to London, England. And in London, they have no guns. And anyone there could be a tough guy. You could get your ass kicked by a guy with an umbrella and a bowler hat. It might happen. I was there with 8 other Americans. We were there for a work trip. And at the end of the week, to celebrate, we went on a pub crawl. And towards the end of the pub crawl, this tiny little, very drunk British guy had latched onto our group. And at first it was fun, but towards the end of the night, it was clear that he wasn't really picking up on any verbal cues, and he wouldn't stop hassling a couple of the women we were with. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go talk to him. I'll let him know his night's over. I'm a big guy. There's 9 of us. I'll handle it. So I walked over to him and I looked down. And I said, hey, buddy, I think you've had enough to drink. I think it might be time for you to go home. And he looked up at me and he said, oi, what's that, Porky? I think it's time for you to kiss my ass. And it hurt, because I'd never been cussed at in that accent before. I was like, oh, that's how Paddington talks. But I collected myself, right? I was like, I don't think you heard me. I said it's time for you to go home. And he said, I don't think you heard me. It's time for you to kiss my ass. And that gave me pause. I was like, why is this guy so confident? I know he doesn't have a gun, but is Harry Potter real? Is magic real? Do they still have swords over here? Maybe I misread the situation. Maybe this guy about to pull a sword on me, right? I don't have a sword. And I didn't want to fight anyway, so I was like, hey, buddy, we're not looking for trouble. And he cut me off. He said, oh, you found trouble, mate. It's gonna be so cool. For a second, I was like, oh, someone's gonna get their ass kicked. Oh, no, it's me. I'm the one. And then he said, right, I'll sort out all 9 of you then. And he took his hand and he reached it into the waistband of his pants. And when he did that, my heart caught in my throat. Because I'm an American. When someone does that here, it means they have a gun. And you've misread the situation drastically. And I thought it was very scary. Also, I thought it was a little bit funny. Even in that moment. Because I was like, you're gonna get shot in London? Flying all the way over here? We make the finest artisanal gun violence in the world back home. This is like a French guy trying champagne for the first time in Madison, Wisconsin. What's going on? But I was terrified. And you learn who you are in those moments. And I was not happy to find out who I am, because I looked around at my friends and I swear to God, I thought, boy, I hope he shoots one of them first. That's what I thought, because it's still England. Once he gets one shot off, it's gonna like take him a while to reload. Like. But then, he pulled his hand out of his pants. And he was not holding a gun, but he was holding. And I need you to know that sometimes comedians make stuff up, but this is 100% true. He pulled out a completely full pint of beer. And he'd been moving around. He was active. Not a drop spilled. There's not information I'm not sharing with you, okay? He pulled, maybe his penis is like a monkey tail. He can hold stuff with it. I don't know. But he was holding this beer and he said, "Shall we?" And then he drank the entire thing in one gulp, took the glass and threw it against the wall of the pub, and then started walking towards me and my friends like this. And the 9 of us took off in 9 different directions so fast. It was like he pulled a machine gun. And that's the kind of tough guy we don't have enough of in this country.
I recently achieved the dream of every middle-class person. I had a bit of work done on the house. Had a new kitchen put in. I stress, we're not wealthy, but we came into some money on the death of an elderly relative upon which I had bet heavily. Come on, Uncle Oscar, Daddy needs a kitchen island. So we got this work done, and I don't know if there are any men in the audience who are man enough to admit that when you meet a proper man, you go a bit funny, right? Like if you see, walking down the street, if you see a guy who's like wearing overalls, he's got paint all over them, and you see him and you go, there goes a proper man, and you go a bit limp, you know, oh, he's proper. All it really means, of course, is that he's not that good at painting. And what happens, and I don't want to do this happens despite my best endeavours, I open the door to them and I do a bit of a voice, right? I don't know what it is. These guys turn up, I'm like, all right, let's wait. Like, where is that coming from? What is that? I'm going, all right, a cup of tea, cheeky Stella, all right, lovely. I think on some level I'm trying to sort of leverage a friendship with them in order to create the possibility of the discount for cash. Don't know if anyone's ever pulled that off. All right, lads, cup of tea, discount for cash. What that is, I'll give you the cash, you knock the VAT off, everybody's laughing, apart from obviously the schools and the hospitals. Anyway, and they must know. They must know, right? When I turn up like this, they must go around the corner and go, he's rather patronising, isn't he? Yes, he is. He is condescending to us, talking down to us, isn't he? Yes, yes, he's trying rather hard. That's what she said, careful. And we tried to do the whole job in a week, right? They wanted to get it done in a week. So at one point, they were all in the living room. Now, our living room is underneath our kitchen with this little squeezy house on a hill. And all 5 of them were downstairs in the living room having a chat, right? So there was a Chippy, a Sparky. You've got to know the lingo. There was whatever the fuck a plumber is. Cheeky Dolphin. I don't know. Splash Harry. And a Bender. That's unlikely, I think. And a Gaffer and a Spaffer, which is my word for a plasterer. I've made that up myself. You're welcome. Spaff, spaff, spaff. It's harder than it looks. So all 5 of them were in there, and I went in to offer them a coffee, right? And I panicked, because I didn't know how to address them together. And I walked in, and I went, all right, men. I don't know why I said that. I think I was going to go for lads, and then I bailed out halfway through the sentence. I turned up, men, as if I'm the brigadier at the back of the battlefield on a white horse. And I'm expecting you, obviously, to die tomorrow in your hundreds of thousands. But for now, can I offer you a coffee? So they all said yes. So 2 minutes later, I'm standing upstairs in the kitchen, at the worktop, in front of a coffee pod machine I already feel bloody guilty about. And I've got 5 pods on the worktop in front of me, thinking, am I really going to chuck 5 pods at these bastards, right? What if they want another coffee later on? They're here all week. This is going to bankrupt me, right? I'm going to have to kill another relative. They're not the usual pods, is my point. They're from a special collection called simply Regime. And so I've got the 5. I scoot them up. I've got 5 pods in one hand. I've got a jar of dirty instant coffee in the other hand. And I'm looking from one to the other, trying to make my mind up. When I look up, and one of the builders is standing on a ladder looking in through the kitchen window. There is no other thought I could possibly have been contemplating. I ended up having to do a sort of extended improvised act out to my wife, who was not in the building, saying to her out loud, oh, all right, darling, what are you done there? What are you doing getting this instant muck? Nothing but the best for my boys. Sorry.
Look, America was never great, but it was hopeful. There were periods where there was progress being made. There was more, we were trying to be kinder, more inclusive, equal rights for everybody. And I think if America wants to get back to that place, then we need to build a time machine. and go back and kill the person responsible for the mess we're in now. And I'll do it. I will do it. And I understand the canon of how this works. Once you use the time machine, then you've altered the space-time continuum and the fabric is ripped and torn. The time machine can't exist anymore, so it stops. But I'll do it. I will go back and I will kill Jesus Christ. I'll do it. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for all the kids out there. And I'm not going to go to like when he was 30, because he was kind of ripped, as I understand, Dude was cut and had like a 12-man security detail with him at all times. So I wouldn't go there. And I certainly wouldn't go to when he was first born, the Immaculate Conception, the Virgin Mary. And I think that's a little unseemly to kill a one-day-old, but... We really don't know anything about Jesus, though, literally from the day after he was born up until he was like 30 and a half, right? We don't know anything about like teenage Jesus. We know, we don't know anything about 14-year-old, sullen, mopey, covered in acne, hormones raging out of control, just emo Jesus, just, School's a prison, Right, just constantly jerking off, right? Constantly. 14-year-old boys jerk off 7 times a day minimum, all right? And Jesus is no different. And they didn't have Nivea back then. There was no lotion. So 14-year-old Jesus' dick looked like an overcooked hot dog that had been left in the rain for a week and then discovered by a pack of rabid raccoons. But yeah, so, and we all know the story about the, Immaculate Conception, right? That's heartwarming story where God implanted his seed into the Virgin Mary, right? So he could give us his son, right? God took his seed, seed has come. That's what it is, seed has come. So God took his cum and he put it in the Virgin Mary. And here's the thing, he's everyone's God, everyone on the planet. He's everyone's God, so he had to figure out which cum he was gonna put into the Virgin Mary, because he's got literally thousands and thousands of different cums. So he had to go, which cum am I gonna put inside the Virgin? Should it be Indo-Asian or Nordic or Mayan or Aboriginal or Namibian or Incan or Arapaho or... You know what? I'll go with Jew. Jew's my... Yeah, that's good cum. That's good cum. And then God took his cum, and God's way in the heavens. He's all the way in outer space. And he had to take his cum and send it, right, through all the different galaxies and solar systems, and he sent it all the way, but it always had to maintain an eternal temperature of 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Otherwise the cum would have degraded. And so he had to speed it up and then slow it down, and it had to go through different galaxies and solar systems till it got to the Milky Way, and then it found our solar system, avoiding planets and moons and asteroids and space dust, and always, again, maintaining an eternal temperature of 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Then getting to Earth, and they go through all the different atmospheres, because God loves atmospheres. So he gave us a whole bunch, and it's got to go through the exosphere and the thermosphere and the mesosphere and the stratosphere and into the troposphere, and then wait for the opportune time for Mary to go like this, and then up it went. And because Mary is a human woman, she went through the 9-month gestation period, and where she grew Jesus, and then God sent the angel Gabriel to Joseph and Mary to explain what was happening, and to say, you have to go to Bethlehem, okay? Either to be counted for the census or to not be counted for the census. It's a little vague, and historians aren't really sure of exactly what, but we need to get you, for for the sake of the story, we need to get you to Bethlehem, okay? It's called a writer's device, all right? So we need either for the census or to not be, it doesn't matter. You need to go to Bethlehem, and then, Gabriel went back up the chimney, and then Joseph put Mary on their donkey, Dinkles, that was the name of the donkey. It's in the Bible. Joseph, Mary, and Dinkles the donkey. They went to Bethlehem, and we all know this part of the story. They got to the inn in Bethlehem. The inn, singular. There's only one. They got to the inn, but there's no room at the inn, so they had to sleep in the manger. Now here's a question. 2,023 years ago, what was the difference between a room at the inn and the manger? There's no difference. There's no difference. You're still sleeping on hay next to a goat, you know? They act like it's an Airbnb where the Wi-Fi went out. No, I'm sure that when the innkeeper told Joseph, you'll have to sleep in the manger, it's like, good, some fucking fresh air for once, you know? And so they got to the manger and they laid down on the hay, and then Mary started going into labor. They started timing her contractions, coming quicker, and she's about to give birth to the Son of God. And there's a little commotion in there. She's gonna give birth. Joseph, it's time. And Jesus is coming, but he's not coming out. He's not, what's happening? Because I can feel it, and he's trying to get out, but he's not coming out. And here's what they leave out of the story. But when God implanted Mary with his cum, he forgot to do something that's really integral to the whole process. He forgot to fuck Mary. So her hymen remained intact. So Jesus is ready to come out, but there's this wall of flesh, and he's like punching and kicking and screaming and clawing and scratching, and he can't do it, and it's traumatic. I mean, ask any Scientologist what happens in there. It'll scar you for billions of lives. And I mean, it messed him up good. It gave him a Messiah complex. And so Mary sussed out what was happening, said, Joseph, hang on, I'm gonna get back on Dinkles, maybe go around triple speed, see if I can knock this little fella out of there. And she did. She tore her hymen, came back, and then she laid down and she started to give birth to the Son of God. And then here comes Jesus out of this massive hairy bush. Got a Jewish woman in biblical times, come on, it's a massive hairy bush. And here comes Jesus, and he's covered in placenta. There's a little bit of blood, and there's shit too, because that's also part of the birthing process. When you give birth through the vaginal canal, you lose control of your bowels and your sphincter, and shit comes out. It happens. There's shit. So here comes the Lord and Savior of all mankind, just covered in shit, and they clean them off with some hay and some goat urine, and then. So I would go to Jesus when he was like 4, right? And I would dress appropriately so as not to arouse suspicion. I would bring something to distract the villagers. You know, I'd be like, hey, check this out. It's a Furby. I would take Jesus. Hey, kiddo, come out. I want to take you down to the river and show you something that's pretty cool. All right. So listen, kiddo. Listen, so this is very important for me to say and very, very important for you to hear. I want you to know this, okay? You are a beautiful person with beautiful ideas. You live your life in a clean, honest way that is all about other people. You're about kindness and generosity, selflessness, love, unconditional love. You're about diversity, equity, and inclusion, all right? And this is not about you, okay? This is about your fans who are gonna take every word you say and willfully, maliciously twist it for their own perverted sense of power. And everything they do is completely antithetical to everything you ever preached and the way you wanted us to live. And they will literally murder millions of people in your name and drive millions of others to suicide in your name.
So I'm actually really into fashion, actually. Tragically, I'm really into vintage clothing. I say tragically because at my age, when I wear vintage clothing, it looks like I'm just still wearing it from when it came out. You know? I think the idea of vintage clothing is to wear stuff that you weren't around to wear at the time. So I'd have to go back to Victorian frock coats or Second World War fighter pilot outfits, you know? But if I ever had my own celebrity fashion line, I'd call it the Jeff Innocent Retired Cockney Criminal Leisurewear Collection. And I'd be aiming it at the man who's given up doing all his major crimes, but typically he's still hanging around with the wrong sort of people, so it could kick off at a moment's notice, and he might have to have it on his toes. And I think this ensemble has got that versatility, really. You know, I do on one hand for meeting someone who's just been released from Nick, but equally demanding money with fucking menaces. It's a one outfit for all occasions. But you've got to have names for outfits. If you go on fashion websites, you might have noticed what they do. They sometimes give outfits little lifestyle names so that you as a consumer, you buy into it subconsciously. There might be an outfit there called Hipster Dude or City Chick. You got the idea. So the name I go with for this look, tell me what you think, Racist Grandad. And if you're from Newham or Essex, I'm sure you're familiar. It's the white working class racist grandad. That's the look I'm going for. He lives on the estate, but his daughter has just got pregnant by her black boyfriend. So, all gone very wrong for that man. He's kicked her out the house. You know what these people are like. But bear with me on this, because potentially this has still got a happy ending, because he is what I call a redeemable racist. There's still hope for this man. And this is how multiculturalism works, in case there's any northerners in the audience. I know you're in here. There's a faint whiff of tripe in the air. It's a dead giveaway. And this is how it works. 9 months later, when the daughter comes back with this lovely little baby, now the racist granddad goes through a beautiful metamorphosis, falls in love with the child, they become inseparable. It's a beautiful love story brought about by multiculturalism. It's only a start, you know, this sort of stuff's gradual. He's still racist about every other fucker. Yeah? But not my fucking brown grandchild, all right? So that's the look I think I've successfully achieved this evening for the NHS. Can I just establish the fact I'm not actually racist? I think what it is I look hugely racist, but I'm hugely not racist. So in a sense, all of this is a bit of a waste, really. And when you think there are actual racist people possibly walking past this venue as we speak, who would love to look like me. Dream of looking like me. Have plastic surgery and everything. And I'm probably showing off here, but I bet I'm the most racist-looking comedian on the entire comedy circuit. In this price range. But of course, the poetic irony of me looking so fucking horribly aggressively racist is my wife is black. We do that sort of thing in East London. And, you know, you might have noticed I'm wearing hearing aids, actually. That's because my wife is Nigerian. Come on, white people, let yourselves go with this. If you see black people laughing at any of this stuff, it means it's okay for you to laugh, all right? No pressure. Yeah, I remember when it happened, I went to the audiologist, he went, "Is your wife Nigerian?" I went, "Yeah." We're getting a lot of this with multiculturalism.
One of my housemates has started stealing my food. Terrible, isn't it? David is the man's name. Hated him the moment I met him. Describes himself as a slow burner, which is how I'd kill him, let me tell you. The reason he steals my food is because he grew up in a commune. You know, so like he was, you know, like raised, like incorrectly. takes a village. No, it takes 1 or 2 parents, you hippie. You know, so stealing is just part of his culture. You know, it's not part of mine, despite being from the north. So I confronted him about it. I said, David, lad, someone's been eating all of my risotto. Yeah, we've got that in the north. I said, someone's been eating my risotto, and he said, don't you mean our risotto? So I coughed in our mouth. Share and share alike, Shagger. Been through a lot together, me and David. He caught COVID just after me. Weird how the world works sometimes, isn't it? Trying to enjoy the flat share, because, you know, despite the injustice, that's the worst thing, don't you think? The injustice of the property market?
Yeah, I agree.
Just for those at the back, this man does not have a gun to his head. Absolutely. I've never voted Tory in my entire life. What do you do for a living?
I work for an insurance company.
One of the good guys! I hate the injustice of it all. We found out recently our landlady owns 8 houses. I know! Isn't that terrible to think if she was a landlord, she'd own 12? How many ceilings must she own before she can break through the glass ones? Oh. Trying to get a fundraiser going for the old girl. I've raised 600 quid by leaving a bit of blue tack on the wall. It's all you can do. I am trying to enjoy it, but I don't work in insurance, so, you know, I realise I'll live there for a long time. Because I do this. In one of the most expensive cities in the world. I've done the maths. I'll probably die in that flat share. Sounds depressing, doesn't it? But it's not. I'm looking forward to them lot cleaning up after me. And they'll be bitching about it on the WhatsApp group. Excuse me, guys. I'm not sure who left the corpse in the living room. I'm gonna buy a gun, shoot myself, and put it on Splitwise. I swear to God! Why do we have WhatsApp groups for the people we live with? Do you know what I mean? Like, the house is the group. We don't need to text. Walls are so thin, every time I sneeze, I hear someone typing out "bless you" in the next room. Thin walls in our flat. So believe you me, the winters are freezing. We don't turn on the heating because we don't want each other to be happy. Luckily for me, I've got a Lenovo laptop from 2012, so... 3 tabs on Google Chrome, my neighbours are sweating. I open Zoom, the whole street's on holiday. Bloody hell! Tenerife is a calling.
Saddest song in the world is Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett. But not Margaritaville as it was written. You got to think about what Margaritaville is now. Because now Margaritaville isn't a fictional location where some made-up, relaxed dude like, I guess I screwed things up, whatever, que sera. Ooh, thatched roofed huts, white sand beach, I'll get over it. No. Margaritaville now that you know it's a real brick and mortar restaurant that sits in the parking lots of shopping malls throughout the country. If you listen to the lyrics of that song, but that's the setting, that's the darkest shit you've ever heard in your life. Not some fictional island that's in the Caribbean. How do we get to it? Stolen jet boat? Maybe one of them airplanes that has hot dog buns instead of wheels, so it can cruise right up onto the beach. No, Margaritaville number 218, St. Paul, Minnesota. Let's say early February. It's the tail end of a lunch rush. It's a community college dropout behind the bar just wiping off laminate menus. And there's a man sitting at the bar by himself, openly weeping into a basket of coconut shrimp. Some people say that's a woman to blame. But I know. This is my own damn fault. Hey, Terry, you want to get your shit together? There's families in here right now, bud. I get that you're a bit broken up, but we can't be like this. My assistant manager's here, and you're looking real overserved right now, all right? I can box this up, and you could eat it in your van, but I can't have this. That's a Pee-wee soccer team in the back room, all right? Let's get it together, okay? Can I get you anything else? I'm just looking for my lost shaker of salt. There's one on every table. What the fuck does that even mean, man? Why are you wearing fucked up flip-flops? It's freezing outside. So Payless shoes across the parking lot. I'll give you the money for boots. That joke will be even better when I learn more lyrics to Margaritaville.
But no, because I've started catching the train again. Now, there's this one guy, he's on every train. I don't want to say exactly what this dude looks like, but I describe his appearance as crime adjacent. Everybody got him? You've seen him often chewing never gum? So this guy is on every train, right? He's on every train, does the same move on every train. When the train gets to a platform, the doors will open, the crime-adjacent guy leans out the doors of the train, looking very intently up and down the platform. I don't know what he's looking for. I've never seen him find it. And then when the doors close, he's like, oh, it's the train. He gets back on the train, right? That's what happens for the crime-adjacent guy. Every single platform I've ever seen him at. And I always thought it's because he was looking for a ticket inspector, which I thought was a shit strategy, because if I was a ticket inspector and I saw a crime-adjacent person, that's probably where I'd start inspecting. And I don't even have formal ticket inspector training, which I can only assume is extensive. So that's what I always thought. And then I got COVID last Christmas, like everybody. And I was in one of those in-person PCR testing queues, and there was a crime-adjacent person in front of me in the queue. And he did the exact same move in the COVID queue. We're in the COVID queue. The queue would take a few steps forward. The queue would stop. The crime-adjacent guy steps out of the queue, looks up and down the queue, gets back in the queue. And I was like, dude, we don't need a ticket for this. It's like, this isn't American healthcare. It's included, right? Like, it's fine. And that's when I realized that guy's not looking for a ticket inspector. What he's doing is looking for his biological father. That's why he writes his name on the train. Just in case his dad comes looking for him. On the Campbelltown line, right?
We're in very, very divided times, but food, I feel like, is the answer. You know, think about the first wave of immigrants. The Italians, they copped a lot of racial hate, but, you know, they bought pizza, pasta, people sort of accepted them, yeah. Chinese people, sweet and sour pork, Indian people, buttered chicken. Like, all I'm trying to say is stop hating and just wait and see what food transgender people make, because haven't had their chance yet to make the food, you know, and like that's the only way I've seen it work in this country. I wish it wasn't like that. Like my granddad came back from World War II, a lot of anti-Japanese hate, you know, but I took him to sushi. It was like, you know what, these guys are all right. I took him to one of those sushi you know, the trains. He was like, we used to have to derail these. Like he was going a bit then. Stop, Granddad, they're trying to resupply. It's not, it's teriyaki. Like it was stop. But you know, I work like in a very progressive space doing stand-up, but I used to work as a labourer on a construction site. Yeah, not as progressive. The amount of like homophobic jokes and sexism and shit that goes into like building a building, like fucking, we shouldn't be in here, you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, we need to cancel buildings, because like some of the shit that was said, can you imagine some of the shit that was being said when this was being put up? Can't you lift that, Trev, you little bitch? Where's your fucking dress? And you're comfortable sitting in this, like, in this environment of hate? Like, my foreman used to walk in and go, morning, ladies, and he'd flick your balls like that. And they built the Gallery of Modern Art. That's a space I worked on, like helping with the flooring of the Gallery of Modern Art. And I've been back since on that same floor during a cabaret festival. And there was all these naked men in body paint standing there with the light shining on them, posing in this performance art piece. But in that same spot, Trevor called me a gay cunt for drinking a Sprite Zero, like in the same... And yeah, I got bullied, okay? I'm one of those guys. I got bullied. I'm one of those guys, you know, I went to the boss. Yeah. I was like, Dad. I said, they're bullying me, Daddy. Fire these motherfuckers. And he did, and I got promoted. It's tough out there with the cost of living. I said, Daddy, can we get in a little submarine and go see the Titanic, Daddy? Don't that, by the way. That's a fucking good death. It's instant. You know what I mean? They didn't know. Instant. If I'm going to go, I want to go like that, just... And then the fish with the light comes, you know, at the bottom of the ocean, the fish with the light comes, fucking, holy shit, this dude is crushed. Bring your light over, light him up. This is... Light up the carcass. It's crazy to evolve a light. Don't you think? Like 800,000 years, 1 million, 2 million, 3... Yes! What the fuck is going on? Finally, I can see. Oh, there's nothing. There's nothing. Great. Stuck with a fucking light now. Great. Stuck with a light. Perfect. Sick. That's like us evolving a stapler. Just... yes! Finally! Got a... Oh, there's AI now. No officers. Great. Stuck with a stapler. Sick. Perfect, stuck with a stapler. Great. It'll take 1 million years for this to evolve. Perfect. It'll become sexual, you know, because everything does. There'll be porn and shit. Staple my ass. Like, it'll be, you know, like...
Modern life is too stressful. Yeah, right. And you know what it is? It's our phones. That's not a new theory. It's our fucking phones. We shouldn't have these things. They're like crystal balls we keep in our pocket that can tell you anything at any time. Local news, world news, news from your life. And you look at it, what, 30,000 times a day? No wonder you're a bit on edge. The human animal wasn't designed to be taking a dump like, oh, I just got fired. You know what I mean? That's not... That's not how the human animal was designed to get bad news. It's our phones, man. You know what doesn't help? Maybe you have a friend like this. Every single time my wife looks at her phone, I'm not joking, every time she checks her phone, she goes like this. She goes, oh, no. Oh. And And I'm a big guy, but I scare easy, you know what I mean? I got the temperament of a Victorian ninny. I'm like, heavens, you know what I mean? I clutch my pearls, I cinch my robe. I'm always like, what? What do you see in the oracle, woman? What doth the black mirror show you? She's like, one of the actors from Bones isn't returning to the show. I'm like, God damn it! Don't do that to me! Technology's a trip, man. Like, I don't work in an office, obviously. But people that do, you guys have your own little secret email language, don't you? There are all these acronyms I didn't know, like end of day, that's EOD. I didn't know that. Nobody tells you that. My favorite is out of office, because it's just 3 O's. But I didn't know. So the first time I got an email, they're like, so sorry for the delay, Peter. I've been a little ooh. I'm like, what does that mean? Sorry for the delay, Peter. I've been a little ooh. Like you're all dolled up on 34th Street waving a hanky at the boys? That's why the email was late? Twirling a decorative paper umbrella with white gloves on? I don't understand. It's fine. You've been a little ooh, I've been a little ah! It's fine. Take your time. Take your time. My dad just got his first iPhone. He went from landline to iPhone. 80 years old. Yeah, no. That's not a dad. I want you in a swivel chair at a desk writing a check, landline tucked under your chin. That's a fucking dad. I don't want to see you like this, scared of Shazam. I don't want to see that. We were having dinner at an Italian restaurant. We got there first. Me, my wife, and my daughter, we got there first. And I watched my dad walking in, and he's mashing his iPhone with his huge, thick Boston dad fingers. Whatever you're picturing for digit girth. Quadruple it. My dad's got like 5 floppy donkey dicks on each mitt. He's blindly donkey dicking the screen with his thick donkey dick thumb. I know he can't see it. It's down here just mashing it. I go, Dad, what are you doing? He goes, I'm trying to tip the Uber driver, Peter. It's a perfect impression. Because I'm trying to tip the Uber driver. I go, give me the fucking phone. I didn't say that. I'm terrified of my dad. I was like, perhaps I could help you, Papa. Oh, King of Kings. Now, Portland, I didn't fly all the way here to lie to you tonight. My dad had donkey dicked the screen so many times that he had swapped from Uber to Uber Eats. That's only one donkey dick. And he was on the checkout page, and there were 36 steamed vegetable dumplings in his cart. From a nearby Chinese restaurant. And one more donkey dick, they would have been on their way delivered to the Italian restaurant we were currently eating at. 36. My dad does not want 36 steamed vegetable dumplings. None of our dads do. But my father is a proud man. He's never admitted to a mistake in his life. In front of his family? What are you, nuts? So part of me wishes he had donkey dick the order button, just so I could have watched him fake it. So a guy walks in with a brown paper bag, my dad would have been like, oh, good! The appetizer's here! As I destined. He would have ripped open the bag, pretended to not be shocked that it's 36 steamed vegetable dumplings. And he would have dipped those shits in marinara with unbreaking eye contact. Just like, I've never made an error, Peter. Never, not once. Now let's all eat my mistake. As is our family's agreement. I'm glad you guys are hip. You could understand that, the Boston accent. We tour all around. In some places I go, I gotta tip the Uber driver. I can see people are like, subtitles on? You know what I mean? You guys have an ear for it. That's good. I was just watching The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, the third one. It's great. Yeah, it's fantastic. Accents is what brought it to mind. I think it's so funny. Whenever you watch a fantasy movie or TV show, they always have a British accent. Have you noticed that? That's how they let you know that there's like dragons and goblins. By using an accent that millions of people use today. That's not what's weird. What's weird is that it works. You buy it. They're like, Gandalf, we need to go to the apothecary. And you're like, oh, are these real hobbits? Like, you buy it. Is this a documentary? Like, it's real. It wouldn't work with the Boston accent. You couldn't have a guy get off a horse like, there's a fucking wizard over there. There's 2 fucking wizards and a goblin. They're stealing unicorns. Shit's fucking retarded, kid. Yeah, they couldn't. I didn't say it. That idiot said it. I'm protected by the silly voice and character act of 2009. Passed by my people. Boston's love affair with the R word is going strong. It's such a weird place. Like, it's kind of backwoods and there's Harvard. It's like, pick a lane, Boston. Like, how excited was Boston when queer became the appropriate term? If you're not laughing, it's because they don't know anything happened. Do you understand? They've been going strong with queer the whole time. They were grandfathered in to being politically correct. They were just holding on to queer like GameStop stock. They just held on to it. They were diamond hands on queer. Then one magical day in Somerville, Mass, they're like, this queer likes that I'm calling him a queer, like it's magic. They don't know what happened. Whenever I go back to Boston, they always say the same thing. They go, you've changed, kid. You're all California now. I think it's because I acknowledge the existence of human emotion. Like, I'll tell you the most Boston story I can tell you. A couple years back, one of my best friends in high school, his dad got cancer. He got through it. He's okay now. But when he was diagnosed, it was close to Father's Day, so I decided to give him a call. And it was one of those friends that I've had for so long. I knew his landline phone number from heart, you know what I mean, by memory. Called him up, like it was 1991. It was perfect. The dad answered. I was like, hello, sir. Just want to say happy Father's Day. Didn't mention the cancer. I just said, I love you. You know, I'm a dad now. I realize I learned a lot about being a good dad from watching you be a good dad. Happy Father's Day. It was a sweet call. He said, thank you. He hung up. Felt nice. Next day, his son, my friend, calls me. I saw his name on the caller ID. I was like, he's going to thank me. Get ready to feel good, Peter. I'm not making this up. I answer the phone. He goes, my father says you're having a midlife crisis. That's Boston. He goes, you said you love him? What are you, queer? That's Boston.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story, I fucking hate them. They started off and they're making interesting points about racism and misogyny. Then they start calling each other H&M, and I just thought, oh, do fuck off. By the time Harry starts describing this one date with Meghan as the night, let me quote you here, me and M pulled the pin on a fun grenade. I actually started rooting for Prince Andrew. If you haven't seen the documentary, lucky you. Ginger Royal meets fit American actress. She then discovers that everything is so unfair. He then discovers that racism is actually a bad thing. And then they moan about everything. Harry says, how do you explain to someone who've just started dating that they have to curtsy to your own grandmother? And I'm thinking, maybe just tell her that your grandmother is the fucking queen. And you're in the royal family. I don't know how to break this to you, H. But if you weren't in the royal family, M wouldn't be with you. They were complaining that to pay for their own security. They were not happy about that. Yeah, they were very worried about their safety, which I get that aspect of things. After 6 episodes, I wanted to attack them. Something about them. I don't know what it is. I look at them. I genuinely think they are the sort of couple who look at each other when they're having sex. These are sick people.
I try and be a real parent. Right? And what I mean by that is try and be real. If I'm a little bit selfish during the birth of my child, I'll tell you, but I'm never going to claim to be perfect. I hate fake social media parenting. Make it seem like they're amazing parents. And what they do is they do this thing where they say things their kids have said. They post things that their kids have said. Oh my God, my son just said this and this is mental. And it's always some like socially conscious woke point that this 3-year-old has made. And you know that 3-year-old didn't say it because you met that 3-year-old. And that 3-year-old is a fucking idiot. Last time I saw him, he was eating a pair of socks with a knife and fork and wearing potato waffles on his feet. So I don't know if he's making statements like that. You know what I'm talking about? It's parents who will say things their kids have said, so you think, oh, you've raised them so well. And then they blow up. These posts blow up. You know, some woman, you know, being like, was driving my daughter through Belfast earlier, and she said to me, Mummy, can I ask you something? And I said, darling, you can ask me anything. In brackets, that's a relationship we have. She said, Mummy, is that a man or a woman in the car beside our car? Is it a man or a woman? Because I'm not sure. And I said, yes. And she said, Mummy, thank you. I guess love is love. 12,000 likes. And you know it didn't happen, you know? Some guy being like, I was driving my son to school today and he said to me, Daddy, can I have more pocket money? And I said, come on, son. There's a cost of living crisis on. There are people less fortunate than us. You know, not everyone gets bought the very expensive gifts that I'm able to buy for you and your brothers and sisters. Why do you need more money? You should actually be thinking of ways to give your money away. And my son said, like all the charity work you do, Daddy. And I said, son, I do not like to go on about that. And my son said, but Daddy, did you not do that abseil down that hotel in 2002? With your bad back, that must have been so sore. I said, son, shush. I said, son, why do you need more pocket money anyway? And he said, well, Daddy, I don't think we should just stop at walking a mile in the shoes of asylum seekers. He said, Daddy, I need more money because I want to buy shoes for asylum seekers. Daddy, I want to buy a pair of memory foam Skechers for a Syrian immigrant. That's what I want to do, Daddy. My wee man. He's 7 months old. You know that didn't happen because kids don't talk like that. My kids don't talk like that. If I tweeted and posted what my kid said, my 3-year-old, it would not go viral. It wouldn't change the world because he's not this like political-minded, woke guy. My 3-year-old just talks like a 3-year-old. I can't tweet this. My son said to me recently, I was driving him in the car. My son said, Daddy, can I ask you something? I said, yeah, mate, what do you want to know? He said, Daddy, being serious, do you think anyone has ever pricked their nose so hard that they died? I said, I don't know, we're looking that up. Let me tell you, we're looking that up when we get home. That is a cracker. I fucking... Imagine. My wee man. You want to learn them stuff as well. Want to be a good teacher for my son, but you don't always know the answer straight away. I was driving my son recently. My son said, Daddy, can I ask you something? He's 3. I said, what do you want to know, mate? You ask me anything, I'll tell you the answer. He said, Daddy, see all the seas in the world? Is that all one sea, Daddy, or is it all wee different seas? I said, fucking... What? 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 Fucking hell. What do you mean? Is it? What do you? Do you mean like is all the different seas I tell you about, like on the wee map we have, like I show you them, like the Atlantic Sea, the Irish Sea, and the Mediterranean? I said, do you mean are they all like separate, like individual bodies of water, or is it all like all joined up seas? He said, yeah, Daddy, are they all different or is it all joined up? I said, I'm on the hard shoulder with the hazards on, right? I said, well, they have different names, so there would be different... We'll ask your mummy when we get home, we'll have a laugh for her trying to explain it. She won't know, some adults wouldn't know that, and you should think about that, because some adults don't... Fucking... Shut up, and he started asking me more stuff, so I obviously I just put all the back windows down, sped up, because if you're on the motorway, once you hit 70, it goes... in his wee ears, and he's so, Daddy, my ears are sore. I said, well, stop being weird. Like you guys know the answer. Yeah, it's a big giant sea. All joined up. Wouldn't be possible.
Like I saw a meth head, or a gentleman that smokes meth, if you will, get on the tram in Melbourne, and he got on and he went like this. Transformers, more than meets the eye. It must be good to let go, you know what I mean? Do you know how many times I've been in meetings or whatever and wish I'd just gone, Decepticons! And like, I'm not trying to have a go at meth heads. Like, my cousin was a meth addict and he recovered, but I'll tell you something fascinating about it. The meth energy never goes. You got that shit for life. Like, he's still fucking... Literally, he's like that in conversations. But now it's about granola. You know what I mean? Like, sick granola, man. How many fibers are in there? Fucking antioxidants. Sick! Like, he walks into organic shops like, fuck. Where's your fucking goji berries, cunt? This meth head, he's walking up and down the tram, he's screaming, he's having arguments he never got to win. He's having them again where he wins them. I fucking told you, Trevor, and I was fucking right, wasn't I? You didn't fucking listen, did you? You didn't fucking listen. And then he turns to a woman standing next to me, and he goes, "You're attractive." Everyone's like, holy fuck, holy fuck. He says to the whole tram, "Women are the most intelligent of the species." Then he says this, "Sorry, if you identify as a woman." What the fuck? I did not see that coming. That fucking blew my mind. In Melbourne, even the lunatics awoke. Before he got on the tram, he's like, "I'd like to announce that my pronouns are they, them. Now I'm going to get my cock out and wave it around like a helicopter." But nobody said anything because they're too intimidated. No one's going to tell a meth head to shut up. People think meth heads start screaming on the tram. They don't. They start in the park or whatever, a little bit like, "Fuck you," cunt. Like a little bit. That's their open mic. They're like learning, like, and then "fuck you," like trying out, and then they're in the street shoving people. That's when they're in the support stage. Like, by the time they get on public transport, they got a boom box. They're headlining. Fucking "fuck you," like they're fucking cut, like that's it. Other meth heads are looking at them going, "How'd you get that fucking tram?" Bullshit. Like they're jealous. Because no one's ever going to tell, like, a meth head to shut up because it's too intimidating. It's like really, really hot people. Like, really attractive people. No one ever tells them to shut up and they just get crazier and crazier. Like, if Margot Robbie walks on the bus and just goes, "Can I sit there?" You're like, "Absolutely you can. Welcome." "Oh, my God. Yes, of course. Thank you. Yes." Fucking meth head walks on. He's got a chicken in a bag. He's got a tin of peaches. He's like, "I'm sitting there." "Absolutely you are, my friend. Welcome. Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you. Welcome."
Man, do you ever go to a cafe? You know they have that baked goods display? There'll always just be one fly. I always go to the barista, I'm like, why are there Danishes in the fly enclosure? You know, to build a rapport. I've never talked to anyone, but I don't even have the self-esteem to have a dietary requirement. I see someone say they're gluten-free, I'm like, he believes in himself. This guy, more boundaries than a surveyor. I'm not an assertive person. I could be really thirsty. I'll be at a friend's place. I won't ask directly for a glass of water. I'll just be like, "Do you ever swivel that tap?" What? I hate confident people. All my friends have anxiety disorders, which is great, because if you do a no-show, they think it's their fault. They blame themselves. They're like, maybe I shouldn't have even been born. But we hate that fly. Remember the fly? Because it's just hovering over the cupcake, making it all disgusting. It does nothing. It's unemployed. Love the bee, though. Yeah? Because it's out there, pollinating jacarandas. Fly in, fly out. FIFO. It's a fly in high-vis. Now, if flies started cleaning up dog shit as opposed to hovering over it, we'd start respecting them and it'd be illegal to spray them. The only difference between animal cruelty and pest control is the work ethic of the insect. And you know the insect known as the wasp? I'm not talking about white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. I'll be explaining the subtext as we go along. I'm talking about the insect. It's got all the unemployment of the fly and all the violence of the bee, just in the worst corporate merger of all time. A wasp is like that construction worker that's been sacked, but they're still hanging around. Just, yeah, I used to work for Rio Tinto. But you think of all these creatures. You think of the bee. They've got a hive. That's nice. Bit of community. Even the wasp, as debauched a creature as it is, still has a nest. More of a share house turned into a meth lab vibe, but nonetheless, a community. Then you look at the fly, no headquarters. Freelancing, they're sole traders. Air tasker, doing tasks in the air. There's a piece of dog shit on Kent Street. Get to it, boys. They're all just knocking each other out of the way. There's no camaraderie. And if they die in transit, no one investigates. Like a Deliveroo. But yeah, so that's...
A couple of years ago, it was dishwasher stacking videos. All night. There are videos on YouTube and Instagram of people stacking dishes in dishwashers, and I would watch them for hours. Hours, swiping one after the other, all frigging night. And then I upgraded to hoof cleaning videos. I don't know, okay, yes. It's horse and cow hooves being cleaned, and I have dodged conversations, I have not read books, I have lost sleep, lying on my side, 2 a.m. with a pillow, just broom. Next. You won't believe. I will believe. Show me. Next. Maybe we don't need writers. I don't know. I mean, I'm just watching fucking hoof clean. The people, they're working too hard on Yellowstone. They could just show the hoofs being cleaned. Why are they bothering paying all these actors? You could just laugh for previously on Yellowstone. There you go. Shh. Next week on Yellowstone. Then I discovered house cleaning videos. There's a woman, and she goes to like hoarder houses, and she power cleans it, and again, hours swiping over and over and over again. But then I finally reached my final form. Yard cleaning videos. Yard care and yard cleaning video. There's a guy, he has fans, obviously. He's on YouTube, and he goes into sketchy neighborhoods, and he finds abandoned houses, and he swoops in and he tames that lawn, and it is my porn. I can't, when you get that edger and you show that curb, you make that curb street legal, goddammit. You get around that mailbox and give it a Brazilian. When he finds a hidden walkway, that's like a money shot for me. I'm just like, oh my God, that is a brick breezeway. Give me some tissues and get out.
I come from Yorkshire. I come from a little town called Goole. Yeah, if you don't know Goole, it's just a stone's throw away from York if you throw that stone onto a 2-hour train journey. But it's a weird town with weird people. I'll give you some of my favourite examples. So, I was back in Goole recently. I saw a man on a mobility scooter just driving along. A kid threw an egg at him. Then the man stood up off the mobility scooter. He ran after the kid and punched him in the face. Yeah. That made me proud to come from Goole. One of the few towns where you get to see benefit fraud live. I saw a man in Goole. He's walking down the street, very confidently, wearing 3 bum bags. 3 full bum bags. I can't imagine being in a situation where I filled 1 bum bag and I'm not looking down at the rest of my stuff thinking, this is clearly a rucksack situation. No, not this man. He's straight in the bum bag cupboard. He's not stopping till he's finished. Moving house, 60 bum bags wrapped around him. But Goole is dead now. There's nothing going on in the high street. It's basically betting shops, tanning salons, and in one case, a bizarre amalgamation of the two. And my mum and dad, they'll send me little newspaper articles from Goole just to let me know what's going on in the town. Genuine headline, Goole gets new vending machine. That's in the paper, that's news. There's a vending machine in town. The town's rejoicing. There's euphoria all over the place. The most humiliating aspect of that story, that vending machine was opened by the mayor. That is sad for the town. It was someone's job to wrap a big ribbon around a vending machine. He's cut it with a huge pair of scissors. He had his picture taken with the vending machine. One of the weirdest images I've seen in my life. Because you're thinking, what poses are you doing for a vending machine? I reckon you can go stood next to the vending machine. You can maybe lean up against it, keep it casual. Goole Town Mayor went with a third option, which is to attempt to put your arm around it as if it were another person.
Check, because everyone here had the privilege of eating a kebab whilst completely shit-faced. It's insane, isn't it? Like, it's biblical. The way the food melts inside your mouth like the inside of a Lindt chocolate ball. Like, what is that? Also, I know it's a comedy show, I don't want to get too scientific, but when you eat when you're drunk, the calories don't count. It's like eating on a train, it's not technically a meal. Smart, smart, smart. The thing is, I've got this cute thing I do, it's so adorable. When I'm drunk and emotional, I can now eat 2 kebabs in the space of time it takes the average human to eat half a kebab. What? Where do you put it? It's just a metabolism thing. Like, look at my wrist. Thing is, I found out in a horrible way. How bullshit is this? If you go into a kebab shop by yourself late at night, crying with a tit hanging out, and order 2 kebabs, they're like, 2 kebabs, where's your friend? What the fuck? I want food, not shame! Luckily, I've got smart about it. I'll tell you what I do, very simple. What you want to do, go to one kebab shop. Order 1 kebab. And then you eat it on the way to the second kebab shop. It's late at night. There's people in the second kebab shop. You don't want to get caught out. That'll be embarrassing. Wipe yourself down for crumbs. I like to use my training at the Bauer School of Drama to take on the role of woman who has never heard of a kebab before in her life. And you go in the second shop like... What is this place? Sorry, I usually don't come here. I love salad. This is so mad for me. Isn't it table service? I don't know. Who is Donna? So cute! Show. It's only because I'm always so paranoid whatever I'm doing that everyone's watching me and judging me. You know that feeling, particularly when I'm eating, everyone's looking at me like, oh, why is she eating that? I cannot get over it. I think it's because whatever I do in my life, I'm always like, this has got to be a scene. Surely I'm on, you know? We should be filming this. I just watched way too much reality TV show and grew up in a drama school, and I think it really does a number on your head. Have you guys seen the film The Truman Show? Yeah, it's a good film, right? I feel like most people watch The Truman Show and go, Jim Carrey, a comedic genius as well as a great dramatic actor. I watched it and I was like, oh, that is such a good idea for a TV show. It's amazing, it's such a good idea. Someone must have made it. Someone would have made it, it's so good. But if they'd have made it, I would know about it. Because I watch all those shows. So if it's been made, and I don't know about it, Truman has to be me. What is so frightening about saying that, and most of you going, really quiet, is it just makes me so much more paranoid that you're all actors and you think the scene's gone wrong. Like I figured it out live on stage in front of you. What are you gonna do? Like I just think about it. How would I know? How would I know? My first day in life would be my first day on set. My entire life, everyone would be acting around me. And like any baby in any long-running TV show, like EastEnders or Coronation Street, that baby is cast because they are cute. It's around 6 years old, the director looks at that kid and goes, cute kid, can't act. Better replace him. Can't replace me. I'm being Truman'd. Or Bowered. Need to get me some acting lessons. Easiest way to do that, start the Bauer School of Drama in my house. This is the brain I live with! And most people think it would be a nightmare being filmed 24/7. A nightmare? Come on, I would love it. I wouldn't know the cameras were there, they'd capture my full range. They'd finally be able to capture a side of me that I could never show people. Like, I don't know, my vulnerable side. Like, I can't even say it. That is how afraid I am of being vulnerable. I just think I need to be tricked into being vulnerable. I need to be tricked into it. My whole life I've just wanted one of those moments where people look at me and they go, oh my God, what's going on with her? Do you think she's okay? Because no one ever asks randomly, and I'm always doing a show, so no one ever thinks that I'm not okay. No one asks when you're a child because they can't figure it out, but no one asks when you're an adult because they assume you can tell them, because they assume that you are able to communicate. I can't. I just have to hope people figure it out. I think we all know this feeling from school. Like at school, my dream at school was, you know that moment when you're sitting in the classroom, teacher at the front, and the receptionist comes in with a note for one of the students. And we know this note. It's usually that someone's forgotten their school lunch money or like forgot their PE kit. But every now and again, this note was something more. And whenever this receptionist came in, I was just like, oh, is it death? Is it for me? Just so excited at the prospect of being told something awful in front of people. Want to hear something ridiculous? All 4 of my grandparents died when I was at school. My parents told me when I got home. No one said a no. What a waste! Could have been a beautiful scene! I mean, how much drama did I want in my life? Like, seriously. I was raised inside of a drama school. I did drama GCSE. I was surrounded by drama and it was never enough. Of course it was never enough. I mean, look at me. I'm a white middle-class woman from a white middle-class town. There was no drama. We created our own. Our only currency growing up was imagined emotional trauma. And my God, did we love it. When I was 13, our 2 drama teachers at my school did something amazing. They decided that everyone in my year had to write and perform a monologue to the rest of their class, which is a terrifying exercise. And we could do anything we wanted. Like, it could be comedic, silly, slapstick even. But my God, we went dark. And we went dark hard. The boys, they were okay at it. Like, they were okay. Like, every boy in my year pretended to be a drug addict on the back of a motorcycle, which was just like a classroom chair they turned around and they were like, oh my God, I'm just so addicted to smack. And it's like, okay, George, your mum shops at Waitrose, you're fine. The girls, so much worse. We'd read Jacqueline Wilson. We knew what we were doing. One girl in my year, incredible, age 13, wrote and performed a monologue pretending to be a wife who had just murdered her ex-husband, wiping the blood off her hands. Another girl, age 13, wrote and performed a monologue pretending to be an evacuee child, lost at a station during World War II. Amazing. My friend, age 12, wrote and performed a monologue pretending to be a 6-year-old, writing a letter to her daddy, who had just died in 9/11. Her dad worked in the Domino's in town. We saw him all the time. He'd never been to America. You know what she got? Full marks. Now, there was one thing all my classmates' monologues had in common. They were dramatic, sure. But you knew they weren't true. Because they were set in a different time zone, or they were playing a different age. And I cannot make this clear enough, that my monologue was not true. But my God, did I try and make it plausible. Because I wrote a monologue, written by me, directed by the Bauer School of Drama at home. She had to be involved, she had to. About a 13-year-old girl who was being sexually abused by her dad. I wore my own pajamas. That I ripped myself at the crotch for extra marks. I got an A. This is truly the message of the show. My dad has never hugged me, let alone fucked me.
My dad doesn't like hip-hop. I like hip-hop. We have arguments sometimes, me and my dad, but I think he's starting to win the argument because hip-hop confuses me. Every hip-hop song now just seems to have a voicemail in the middle of it. Right in the middle of the song. It'll just be like, "Hi, Kendrick, it's your mom. Just leaving you this message to say, keep striving for greatness and always believe." Where's Kendrick Lamar getting all these inspirational voicemails from? You know, if I put my voicemail on a song, do you know what it would sound like? "Oh, fuck, sorry." And that's all they ever are. You can't make hip-hop out of that, unfortunately.
And it's quite odd that I've got this obsession with memory because, not to keep bringing it up, but I do have a boyfriend. And we've been together for quite a while now, but for the first 6 months of our relationship, he had severe short-term memory loss. Yeah, legitimately. That 100%. Just full short-term memory loss. To the point where he basically couldn't create new memories, which is the perfect foundation for a new relationship. And it was, by the way, before I get into this, he's fine now. He's fine, his memory is back to normal, he's completely fine, but for this 6 months, he just couldn't remember anything. And I need to tell you that now, because you need to get on board. And I've written my favourite joke of the show about this, so climb aboard. Essentially, it got to the point where it was so bad that he couldn't remember anything in his day-to-day life, basically. So we'd spend the day together, and then in the evening, I'd have to remind him, like, what we got up to that day. I'd throw in things to make him happy, like 8 blowjobs. And it was just a random medical event. It's not like anything obvious had caused it as well. It's not like he met my sister. And a short time after that, the memory loss kicked in. It was just totally random. But the reason our relationship could still work and it wasn't a full, like, 50 first date situation is his short-term memory was gone, but his long-term memory was fine. And we actually knew each other quite well because we went to school together. He was the teacher. Just kidding. For legal purposes, that is a joke. My boyfriend is not a... What's the male version of a cougar? A predator. I'll tell you, before I tell you more about the memory stuff, I'll tell you a little bit about Sean, because I love him. He's the love of my life. I know that. But he is a nerdy little loser. To give an example, we're moving here to Melbourne. We're on the plane. I see he's using the plane Wi-Fi to search for the phrase Australian singles. Yeah. I was like, what is this bastard up to? We haven't even arrived yet. He's trying to cheat on me in advance. I asked him about it. I was like, why are you searching that? He's like, I'm trying to find a website in which I can buy single Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading cards. And I was like, oh, that's so much worse. I wish he was cheating. Like, would have been easier to explain to my parents. I was quite nervous to tell my parents I was in a relationship. I was nervous to tell anyone, really, because I I developed this rule of not telling anyone I was dating anyone until it had been about 3 months, you know, because you feel like that first 3 months, it's a bit dicey, you're not sure, and it could fall apart at any moment. And I kept doing that where I'd start dating someone, I'd tell everyone, I'm like, by the way, I'm dating someone. Then like a week later, I'd be like, by the way, never mind. So being that 3 months. Not everyone follows that rule, by the way, but they are stupid. Dear friend of mine, she does not follow that rule. She was in our group chat recently. She messages us. She's like, hey guys, me and my man's 6-month anniversary is coming up. I don't know what to get him. What should I get him? I was like, oh, I didn't even know you had a man's. When's your 6-month anniversary? She was like, September. I was like, bitch, that's 5 months away. Don't get him anything. She's good. No, I do like her. She does have pyramid scheme energy, but... So, it had been about 4 months. I decide, finally tell my mum. I say, I'm in a relationship. Also, he's got short-term memory loss. And I think she was so excited by the first part, she did not give a shit about the second part. So, the first thing that Sean was trying to do at this time to try and solve this problem was he was trying to get an appointment at the memory doctor, which is a thing. And he couldn't get an appointment because they were fully booked out, which I thought was very funny. Because I was like, surely you could just turn up. I get the feeling some people might miss their appointment for the memory doctor. And I still maintain to this day, I feel like the memory doctor was a little bit of a scam, okay? So each session with the memory doctor cost $400. 2 weighted blankets. $400. You had to have multiple sessions. If you did not turn up to a session, they still charged you the full amount, and they did not send reminder texts. Yeah. But joke's on them because Sean forgot to pay. I was optimistic at first. I was optimistic for the memory doctor. We finally got an appointment. We get into the waiting room. We sit down on the couch, and it's memory foam. I'm like, these guys are good. They don't miss a trick here. But then it quickly I became unsure. The first thing the memory doctor got Sean to do was a depression test. And, you know, he's not feeling depressed at all at this time, by the way. Like, in his mind, he's getting 8 blowjobs a day. He's living his best life. Has anyone done it? I know this is a weird question to ask, but has anyone done a depression test before? Make some noise. Woo, yeah. Yeah. Someone did a yee-haw, like less so. The only reason I'm asking that is because I've done it before, and I just want you to back me up that there's a weird question about halfway through the depression test, which is, how indecisive are you? Then you've got to choose. Between 1 and 10. Like, I'm there the whole time, like, oh my God, I don't know. Anyway, he does the depression test. The results come back. He has no signs of depression. This is where I was like unsure about this guy. He was like, okay, well, it doesn't seem like you're depressed, but we're just going to give you some antidepressants anyway, just in case. And I was like, oh, like, it feels like antidepressants are so useful. They're so helpful. I've been on them before. I think they're an amazing resource, but they're not just like a just-in-case thing, I feel. It's not like pop them like a Barocca in the morning. Just in case. But he goes on them anyway. He goes on them for a few months and he's noticing no difference. He's just kind of getting the side effects and not really any results. His memory is still gone. And I go, finally, after it's been a while, I think we should get a second opinion. And I believe that. I believe that opinions are like assholes. Better to have 2. I thought this with therapy. Like, when I had my first experience with therapy and it wasn't good, I didn't know that you could just get another therapist. I was worried. I thought that would be like cheating. Like, I had to pretend that I was like, oh, I'm cured, by the way. Because it's so hard to find a therapist in the first place. The way you do it, if you don't know, good on you. But Well done. But you weren't attacked by a golf club. And what you do is you Google therapist near me. You know, I don't want to travel. And you go to a website and it'll be like just like a bunch of random strangers' faces, and you go, oh, you look happy. And then you read their bio and it's just a list of all their favourite kinds of trauma. You're like, you seem fun. My first experience with therapy was not good. It was this lady and she was very spiritual. And I think spirituality is great if you are spiritual. I'm not. I'm very logical. She was very namaste. And I was like, I don't want to stay. She would do this thing where I would be like, I'm feeling angry about this. And she'd be like, what colour is your anger? And I'd be like, I don't think that way. And she would press me on it. She'd be like, you have to participate. And I'd be like, okay, red. And she'd be like, you're making so much progress. I was like, no, I had just recently watched the movie Inside Out. I was just imagining those little guys running around. The other thing she'd do is, as she was talking to me and asking me questions, she would cross and uncross her legs and basically show me her entire crotch. It was very distracting. She'd be like, what colour is your anger? I'd be like, red and lacy. She'd be like, when did your problem start? I'd be like, the Bush administration. So after about 6 months of all of this happening and Sean not getting better, I just bring him along to my GP just to see if she has any other ideas of what it could be. And it was just like our first moment of hope. She listed off a bunch of different things it could be, but she's like, well, first of all, you've had a blood test, right? And he's like, I can't remember. So Sean goes and gets a blood test. The results come back, and it turns out he was severely B12 deficient. He's a vegetarian, and get this, he stopped eating eggs. That's what caused the deficiency, and in turn the memory loss. Like, he was on antidepressants, but it was eggs. Eggs can be life-changing. I wish you guys could have been inside my brain when we found out it was eggs. I was losing my mind. I was like, it was eggs this whole time. You know that girl in your friend group that's like, I just need my Sunday brunch. Believe her. She's on to something. So Sean had to get a B12 shot, because when you're that deficient, you can't just slam an omelette. Like, you have to get, like, what I assume is the yolk just injected directly into your veins. I'm not a scientist. So the doctor was like, you'll notice a difference right away. And I would say within maybe 2 minutes. It was crazy. He was holding a polystyrene cup of water. The B12 went in. He crushed the cup in his hands and said, I'm so powerful. It was like he'd acquired all of the Infinity Stones. It was amazing. He was just fine. Like, he just basically, within the week, it was slowly sort of getting better and better and better until his memory was back to normal, and it was just so absurd. And since he got this checked out and since he came to my doctor, he also opened up about a couple other things that he's been struggling with. He's realised he's lived his entire life with ADHD and not known. And he's given me permission to talk about this, by the way. I'm not just laying out all of his medical history. I did ask him on a no-egg day, but that made me so sad for him as well, because imagine having ADHD and severe short-term memory loss at the same time. Like he was just wandering around his house being like, well, I think I'm hyper-focused on something. And it's so weird for me because I always thought, because I'd been single for so long, I thought I was single because I had really high standards. Then this shriveled little man came into my life. I was like, come to mama. Got myself a little do-up. You can't build a man, but you can renovate. So that 6 months of his life, still a blip. Still can't remember that 6 months, which is strange because we started dating at the beginning of that 6 months. So in his mind, he was just in a medical clinic. A girl he went to school with wandered in and went, I'm your girlfriend, by the way. Don't question it. Little memories come back here and there sometimes. Like if it's a repetitive thing, he sometimes goes, oh, I've remembered something. He remembers one thing, which was every night before he went to bed, he remembers walking past the kitchen, looking at the toaster and seeing cold toast. So what would happen is every morning he'd get up and be like, toast for breakfast this morning. Go about his whole day, go, all right, bedtime. Fuck. Kind of like an involuntary low-carb diet. Like, if you want to get rid of bread, first get rid of eggs. So we've since looked up the memory doctor online and seen his reviews. 1.5 stars. We should have known that the eggs were going to be better just on reviews alone. We spent $1,200 with this guy, 3 sessions, $1,200 for him to give us no valuable information. Apart from randomly in conversation, he recommended these kiwi fruit ice blocks. And they're so yummy. Kiwi fruit, or as we say in New Zealand, fruit. They're so yummy. And I had one the other day and I was like, I think it was all worth it. So he was on antidepressants, but it was eggs. I guess Big Pharma wins either way.
Trying to deal with these problems in the healthiest way possible. I'm doing so much therapy and it's going real bad. Oh, it's going bad. But that's not my therapist's fault. I need to make that clear. My therapist is an incredible person and a very, very qualified mental health professional. The problem is with me and the little thing I like to call my personality, right? My personality, the problem with it is that I'm an incredibly unfortunate combination of unbelievably anxious, but also phenomenally arrogant. So, this is how my therapy process goes. She, a mental health professional with decades of experience, will say something to me. Out loud, I'll say, but in my head, I'll think, I don't think that's true. Then, a month later, something will happen, and I'll think, oh yeah, she was right! What a pro! Everything that's wrong in the way that I interact with my mental health journey can be found in events that take place between the end of January and the start of March last year. So, at the end of January, she diagnoses me after about 4 years of working together with a generalised anxiety disorder. The next week, I come back to therapy and say the one sentence I imagine medical professionals must dread hearing the most from their patients: I have done some of my own research. And I said, I've actually come to the conclusion that it's good to have a bit of an anxiety disorder because it keeps you aware of your immediate surroundings and the threats that might be contained in your vicinity. And she said, you have no understanding of the basics of this condition. What you are describing is a spidey sense from Spider-Man. And she said, anxiety is not about being aware of the threats in your vicinity. It's being worried about things that have happened or will happen. If anything, it keeps you more vulnerable in the moment because you're never present in your body because you're worrying about things that have happened or will happen. And out loud I said, and in my head I thought, I don't think that's true. Then, 5 weeks later, at the start of March, I found myself off to New York for work. I land at JFK Airport, I get a taxi back to my friend's flat where I'm staying, I get out of the taxi, I speak to my girlfriend for 10 minutes, and at the end of those 10 minutes, I say, okay, I better go inside and hang up the phone. As I hang up the phone, that is the moment that it occurs to me that I have left my fucking passport on the seat of the cab, a cab that has long since disappeared into the New York night. Now, if my anxiety was keeping me aware of the threats in my vicinity, surely it would have been aware that the most crucial document in my possession was on the seat next to me where I placed it, unbelievably, for safekeeping. But in reality, I was somewhat distracted, being very worried about a faux pas I'd made at a drinks event in 2011. So I was not, shall we say, in my body. Unfortunately, the passport has gone. The grammar fans in the crowd will know that means it's become something that has happened. Therefore, it comes back into anxiety's purview, and I start doing what everyone with an anxiety disorder in this room does, which is vibrate with rage, and then immediately start beating the shit out of myself. At one point, I said to my own reflection, "What's the point of you?" Which I think we can all agree is an unhelpful overreaction. Then I thought, okay, I'm on my own in this apartment, I'm freaking out, I just need voices in the room. Let me just hit play on whatever the next podcast is on my podcast app. Unfortunately, the next podcast on my podcast app was an hour-and-a-half long interview with John Oliver. And at one point, I sincerely thought, I bet John Oliver never loses his passport. And as if that wasn't insane enough, the next thing I thought was, and this is why you'll never have his career. That's not why I'm not going to have John Oliver's career. I'm pretty sure John, a man who I've met once and have now immediately jumped to first-name terms with without consultation, has his career because of hard work and talent, not based on his ability to retain documents. I'm pretty sure that once a year, John Oliver is just walking down the road and someone jumps out and says, "Hey, Oliver, where's your passport?" And he says, "Right here." And they go, "Wow, have another Emmy." I'm pretty sure that's not how, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure. So, the next day, I get up. My girlfriend, much calmer head in these kinds of situations, has found a UK consulate in New York who can issue me with a temporary passport. I'm going to have to go home immediately and lose a month's worth of work, but I am going to be able to get home. Now, I swing open the front door of that block of flats, and what greets me in the street is little short of a miracle, because stood directly in front of me is the taxi driver from the night before, and he is holding in his hands my fucking passport. Listen, if you're applauding that, wait until you hear what he did, okay? So this guy drops me off on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. I'm his last fare of the night. He drives an hour and a half back to where he lives in Jersey. When he finishes that journey, he does what he does at the end of every shift, which is clean his cab. He then finds my passport and doesn't do what any of us, including me, would have done under the circumstances, which is think, fucking hell, I'll deal with that in the morning. He got back in his taxi, drove back to where he had dropped me off, slept in his fucking car for 2 hours, and then waited for me in the street for 45 minutes. His name was Prince. To me, he will always be a king. And when he told me... when he told me what he had done, I said, "Prince, why did you do this? I so appreciate that you did this, but why did you do this?" Now, some background. The thing you need to know about Prince is his family's Indian. He's from Punjab, my family's from Kerala. In the cab ride over, we talked at some length about our shared Indian ancestry and upbringing. So when I asked him why he'd done it, he said this to me. At the end of the day, I thought, I'm Indian, this kid's Indian. I don't want an Indian kid running around New York without a passport. I know how scary that can be. And in that moment, yeah, I realised something genuinely profound. Racism is incredible when it benefits you. Because based on the look in Prince's face, if that had been a white guy's passport, he would have immediately frisbeed it into a New York City sewer, whipped the bandana off a Ninja Turtle while shouting, "That's for giving one of my jewels to that woman." And look, because this really isn't a character, I went on stage that night at a comedy club in New York and retold this story exactly as I've told it to you. Now, at this point, a woman asked a question. I think the only relevant question that's worth asking at this juncture, which is... did you pay him? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking that question. It is correct. Also, thank you for not asking the question 10 separate people have asked, which is, do you have ADHD? I know you fucking cunts have been sat there thinking that this entire story. The first time someone said it to me, I thought, rude. Then, at the 10th time, I thought, I should look into this. I said to my therapist, "Do you think I have ADHD, or do you think everyone thinks everyone has ADHD now because of the internet?" Do you know what she said? Yes to both. And when I said why, she said, because I sent you a referral to an ADHD specialist a month ago and you still haven't replied to the email. So thank you for asking that question. And thank you for not asking the question a man in Raleigh, North Carolina asked me, which was, which Ninja Turtle? That motherfucker definitely has ADHD. Also, of course, it was Leonardo. It's the funniest if it's Leonardo. So anyway, listen, well, I did give him money. I gave him $1,000. I went and got it out of a bank. I couldn't even go to an ATM. I had to go into a bank and speak to a fucking human being like it was goddamn 1997. I went into the bank and I said, listen, can I get $1,000 out of my account? Here's my debit card. And the guy said, listen, for that amount, I'm going to need to see some photo ID. I said, no problem, because by that point, my passport was stapled to my fucking hand. I gave him $1,000. Now, let's not be crass about this, but let's be honest about it. You know how much you paid for a ticket. You can see this room is full. So you know it is no skin off my dick to give this guy $1,000. I've never said that before. I can't believe... I can't believe the filming is when I chose to ad-lib no skin off my dick. Jesus fucking Christ. It was truly no hair off my ball bag. Look, you can tell it's fine. You can tell it's fine for me to give this guy $1,000, right? You understand the maths. Now, what I would say is in a random New York City comedy club, there was less of an awareness of my financial situation or wider body of work. So when I announced that I'd given this man $1,000, immediate audible suspicion broke out in the room as people just started loudly saying, how did this man have access at that speed to $1,000 in cash? Is he a sultan? Is he a drug dealer? Is he one of the ones that owns Manchester City? There was huge speculation. I heard the speculation, became defensive, and find myself saying, I'm actually very famous at home! At which point, a woman sat right in the front row, puts up her hand and says, I'm from England and I've never heard of you! So look, I'm trying to deal with my mental health problems. I'm listening to my therapist, sometimes a month after she tells me things, but I am listening to her. And she and I have been working together for nearly half a decade now. I initially started seeing her because I was behaving weirdly. That turned out to be symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder due to a period of time where I was receiving death threats and was the subject of hostile articles in the right-wing press in this country because they said I was saying dangerously left-wing things. You know, like racism is bad and women are nice. You know, that sort of dangerously left-wing stuff. We dealt with the PTSD, and now we're just going backwards through the timeline. Christopher Nolaning this motherfucker, Oppenheimering this bitch, hopping around the timeline. We dealt with anxiety. We're going to get to depression. We will get to ADHD when I remember to reply to that email. But one of the first things she said to me was this. I said, listen, I'm having trouble sleeping. That's not an uncommon thing in my life. When there's something going on, I often am unable to sleep. And she said, how much exercise are you doing per week? And I said, because I think exercise is fucking boring, and I think people who talk about it with too much enthusiasm shouldn't be allowed to have children. I really believe that. Okay? Listen, I know that we want to pass on the genes of our healthiest people, but at what cost? The cost of interesting conversation. And I said this to her, and she said, I don't care. I'm not opening a conversation with you about exercise. I'm telling you, you have to exercise for your physical, but also your mental well-being. And I was saying to my friend, how the fuck am I going to exercise? I'm fucking bored of exercise. And he said, why don't you come and play football with us? My friends meet every Tuesday and play football. I said, I love football, but I'm bad at it. He said, we're all comedians. We're all bad at football. So come down. And I started going. And lo and behold, I fucking loved it. For 3 years, I was doing 90 minutes of exercise per week. Now, I know that that is not enough, but that is an on-average increase in my life of 90 minutes a week. Then, in the summer of 2023, I suffered a terrible sporting injury. I broke my little finger. Now, that's not supposed to get a fucking laugh. That's supposed to get, like, a little bit of sympathy from the audience that I then... No, don't patronise me now. It was supposed to get sympathy, and then I throw the sympathy back in the audience's face when they find out the slapstick fucking way I injured myself. Based on how much people like you fucking laughed at just me breaking my finger, when you find out how I did it, you're gonna spontaneously combust in a cloud of jizz. Okay, get ready. We're about to lose audience members because the way I broke my finger was that during a game of football, I sat on my hand. Everybody's jizzing everywhere. It's like I will tell you the full story, okay? I was playing football and I was in goal. Everyone has to go in goal for 10 minutes. That's how the rules of five-a-side football work. No one likes it, but everyone does it. I'm playing in goal and my friend is bearing down on goal. But he goes to shoot this way, so I start to crouch down. At the last minute, he cuts across the ball, so he goes across my body, and I managed to flip my body weight in the opposite direction and save the shot with this boot. I want it known that I fucking saved the shot, okay? And the reason I want it known is it was the high point of my sporting career that was followed by the low point of my sporting career. Because I've done so little exercise in my life, I think I've got some muscles I've never used. So the speed of me doing this caused me to pull a muscle in my neck. I fell backwards like this. And then landed with my full body weight on my little finger via my arse. I broke my little finger with my own arse, which doesn't even make sense because my arse is thick, juicy and delicious. However, I didn't realise that I'd broken my finger. This is a public service announcement. You have fewer pain receptors in your fingers and toes than you do in other parts of your body. So if you think you have badly bruised your finger or toe, you have probably broken your finger or toe. Now, I did not realise this, so I was just plastering it up myself and going about my business. 3 days later, I find myself on the set of a television show, and a medic who's there for insurance purposes says, "Can I help you with anything medical?" I say, "Ooh, yes. Can you tape up my finger properly, because it's badly bruised?" She takes one look at my finger and says, "That finger is broken." And I said, "It's bruised!" She said, "It's broken." I said, "It's bruised!" She said, "It's broken." Are you noticing a pattern emerging here with me and medical professionals? At one point I said, "Listen, I know you're a medical professional, but at the end of the day, you're white, I'm Indian, medicine comes naturally to my people, okay?" It occurs naturally in our bloodstream like midichlorians and the Force. And she said, and I don't think this is a textbook-approved phrase, "That finger is fucking broken." And I went in search of a second, browner opinion. Unfortunately, one was not available due to the fact that I was in a place called the Isle of Wight, which, if you've not been, is, as the name suggests, they are delivering on being an island of white people to the extent I think is where they make them. Just assembling them in factories with Mumford & Sons blaring out over the PA system so everyone comes out that extra nice crusty white. So I went to see a white doctor on the Isle of Wight who did a white x-ray on my brown hand and said, "Yeah, that finger is broken." It turns out the medical professional knows more than the man who drank his way to a joint honours degree in history and English literature. But then she said this, "Listen, when I say it's broken, that's actually a misnomer. What I mean is it's dislocated." Now, this is a good thing because it means it's an easier fix. All I have to do is pull it out and pop it back in again. I said, "Fantastic, Doc, let's get this show on the road. I need to be back on the set of this TV show. The people need entertainment." And she said, "Do you want any gas or air?" And I said, "Why? I'm not a fucking prego." Because that's the thing about toxic masculinity. It flares up sometimes for no reason. It's like athlete's foot of the very soul. And she said, "Do you want any pain medication?" And I said, "Let me summarise the events of the last 3 days for you, Doc. I broke my finger and then have just been walking around like this the whole time without even realising it was broken. What does that tell you? It tells you I've got a very high pain threshold." And then I fainted. I fainted, to be clear, not when she pulled on my finger. When she touched my hand, the thought of her pulling on my finger caused my brain to go into immediate shutdown mode. I pass out on the floor of A&E in the Isle of Wight, and then I learned something about myself. I learned that I'm arrogant on a subconscious level. I know that I'm arrogant on a conscious level. Horrible to understand, it extends to my subconscious, as I found out when I attempted to style out a faint as soon as I regained consciousness. She did this, "Mr. Kumar, Mr. Kumar, Mr. Kumar." And the first thing I said was, "May I help you?" As if she had inconvenienced me. So then by this point, I'd landed on the finger and broken it even worse, so I had to come home and get it operated on. And now it bends like this, but apart from that, it's absolutely fine. Now, listen, this is supposed to be where this bit of the fucking show ends. Then, on the 1st of October last year, in the middle of the UK leg of this tour, something happened. I was back playing in my regular game, Tuesday football, and I was running back into my position. I'm a defender. I'm a defender. I was running back into my position, and out of the corner of this eye, I can see that my friend is about to take a shot. I think he hasn't seen me. I could just spin my body this way, stick this foot out, and knock the ball out of his path and prevent him from taking the shot. Now, I am correct about all of these things. I spin this way, stick this foot out, knock the ball out of his path, prevent him from taking the shot. Here's what I don't prevent him from doing: starting to take the shot. This man swings into the space where he thought the ball was and crashes studs first into the top of my foot. And all I can think in that moment is, I don't think that is bruised. And I'm only telling you this, Hackney, because I consider this story to be one of great personal growth. Because what did I do? I immediately went to hospital. I went to hospital and had an X-ray done on my foot, and the doctor came out and said, yeah, you've broken your toe. Now, when I say you've broken your toe, that's actually a misnomer. What I mean is you've dislocated your toe. Now, this is a good thing because it means it's an easier fix. All I have to do is pull it out and pop it back in again. And then she said, do you want any pain medication? And I said, I want every piece of pain medication you have in this hospital. Here's what I want you to do. Get all of it, put it on a table, split it in half. Take the first half, shove it down my throat. Take the second half, ram it up my arse. While we wait for those two groups to meet in the middle, I want you to inject me full of whatever killed Michael Jackson. She said, lidocaine will suffice. She injects my foot with lidocaine, it goes numb. She pulls it out. Pops it back in again. And then I had to wrap my foot in a bandage, and for the next month, I had to do shows sat on that stool, thus failing to fulfill 50% of my job description as a stand-up comedian. But then after that, it was absolutely fine. And initially, I was reluctant to tell either of these stories on stage, right? Because it doesn't feel consistent with my personal brand. This is not how you, my audience, the fuming, disgruntled leftists, want me to have injured my neck, hand, and foot, is it? You want me to have injured my neck because I was nodding too vigorously at a Naomi Klein op-ed piece? You want me to have injured my hand and foot because I was banging on the table while stamping on the floor and shouting, injustice is bad! But then I had to think about it, and I realised nothing other than these two stories could be more central to the core of my personal brand, because ultimately, a summary of both is that I hurt myself quite badly by turning too enthusiastically to the left.
Terrible being an intelligent woman trapped in a Scottish accent and living in Ireland. I didn't know this was my voice till I moved to England, right? In my head, I talk like Stephen Fry, and then moved down south and started going into shops, and people just looked at me like a dog was barking at them. So I've lived there for 10 years, and it's largely great. The shops are open for ages, but one of the hardest things is every day for the last decade, what my English friends love to do to me is repeat what I'm saying back at me in a bad Scottish accent. And they always have a look in their eyes like, she is gonna love when I do this. Every day. I've got one friend that does it all the time. Her name's Hayley. She's always like, Fern, this is my impression of you. Hello, I'm Fern Brady! Thanks, Hayley. I feel so comfortable. This is my impression of you. Please don't tell everybody about the time I gave everyone at uni chlamydia. Sorry, still not getting that Cockney accent, you fucking okay. I never really thought much about being Scottish. Then I moved to England and I became Scottish Fern, and then you realise that you're meant to live up to this cartoon version of Scottishness where you're aggressive, a drunk, allergic to salad, right? Yous all know the drill. It's hard for me to live up to this, right? Because I'm quite quiet off stage. Salad, can't get enough of it. I was considered almost quite middle class growing up here. Scottish middle class, not English middle class, right? Scottish middle class is where you've been on a plane once and mum makes you eat fruit regularly. Don't like drinking either. This is quite a weird thing to say as a Scottish person and a professional comedian. I don't like alcohol. And not because I'm a recovering alkie or anything. I just don't need drink to make me blunt and offensive in social situations. Guys, that is a gift I have naturally. Here's another thing. Be jealous immediately. Never needed alcohol to make me a slut. I seem to accept early on in life I enjoy pumping sea monsters. Why bother with the health risks of alcohol? Big time stoner. Who needs memories? Turns out me for this job. Oh man, I love to smoke joints, but I've had to quit it for the sake of my job because my memory was getting so bad I had to Google the phrase double bike because I no longer knew the word for tandem. I've been smoking heavily for like a year, and I was like, all that stuff about memories is just government conspiracy theories. And then I went to say the name of I've been going out with the same person for 8 years, so I know his name, right? His name's Connor. I went to say his name and I thought, is this cunt even called Connor? Who knows? Just act confident. See, when I was growing up, whenever I saw Scottish comedy on telly, it seemed to rely on slagging off Scotland, and it was a kind of shtick that was like, oh, aren't we all just fat, illiterate bastards eating chips out of bin? That's what it was, right? I don't like slagging off Scotland. I'm not comfortable with it, apart from one crucial thing, and that is the world of Scottish amateur pornography, which I made the terrible mistake of watching. This is a real category of porn. I'm not making it up for the show. Don't watch it. But a lot of you are drinking, you easy. He's cheersing, he's seen it. Scottish porn's the most depressing porn I've ever seen. Comes a close second to Russian porn, and at least in that they're skinny, but it's in that bleak, we did this for a piece of bread kind of way. I've watched literally every Scottish porn on the internet for the purposes of this show. Some of the clips, you're like, how can I even tell these people are Scottish? There's not much dialogue. Let me tell you, I knew. With a depressing inevitability, I knew more on people. Because it was just pale, hairy white bellies smashing against each other in close up like water balloons filled with yoghurt. Every few seconds, a wee voice off camera would go, oh, aye. Or memorably, tug on my pubes, Rona! I clicked on this Pornhub clip. It said, Scottish girl fucked in London. When I put it on, literally just footage of me paying £1,000 a month to live in a basement. And I watch like amateur stuff rather than slickly shot professional stuff because it's more ethical. That's what a hipster am. It's more ethical. What they lack in muscle tone or symmetrical facial features, they make up for with a large degree of enthusiasm. You know what I mean? I can see who watches it here. I've had to stop watching it and go back to the professional stuff. I'll tell you why. Firstly, can't control the soundtracks in people's homemade sex tapes. I had to turn off someone's amateur porno because they were playing the song Everybody's Changing by Keane in the background. Oh, which will come first, climax or me killing myself? And here's another thing. I don't judge any of you if you want to make a sex tape, but for the love of God, would you lock up the pets beforehand? You know the number of times I've just sadly closed my laptop during a porno? Because there's been a couple pumping away in the foreground, really happy, really oblivious to just the sight of their proud cat sauntering in the background. Meow! This is my time to shine! I put one on the other day. It had a couple were just dry humping American college amateurs, and in the background there was just a sad little Yorkshire Terrier. Dogs are pure innocence and goodness, just looking at them like, please take me a walk. I watch lesbian porn, mostly because straight porn is largely made for straight men, so it'll have these blowjob scenes that go on for 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. Well, why don't I just watch someone file a tax return? Men in the audience, do you hear how many more lady laughs are coming after that bit? I have like a list of little tasks that I need to get done round the house, and the one that never gets done, and I feel bad about it every day, I always think about it, is whenever I put a porn on, I'm at the beginning of a wank. It's another fantastic day as a self-employed lady. I think it'd take you seconds to put some blue tack or a bit of tape over the camera of your laptop, and you never do it. And one day someone's going to hack into my laptop and steal footage of me wanking. That's the thing, yeah? Then it's career over, or the start of a glorious new career. This is what stops me doing it, I think. Don't flatter yourself. Realistically, who's going to want to watch footage of a 33-year-old woman in full winter pyjamas? Sheets pulled up to my chin because I'm a Catholic. Don't want Jesus to see. Or my dead grandparents' dirty voyeurs. Triple chins, just... completely dead-eyed. Who needs facial expressions, man? Facial expressions are for when you're with other people. There's a market for that, though. There's a market for dead-eyed Scottish women in porn. I know it. Whenever I get asked to describe my comedy, I always say it's accessible, observational stuff, suitable for the whole family, right? Then you start reading descriptions of yourself over the years. Mine's are always consistent. They're always blunt, brutal, forthright. I don't read reviews, but I saw one by accident recently. It opened with, Fern Brady scares me. That was a nice review. Who's this scary woman they're talking about? I'm a lovable, nice girl. And I'd always wondered why people thought I was aloof. And then I was doing a show in Berlin, and a woman came up to me at the end, and she said, just so you know, your entire set is a description of a woman with Asperger's. You should look into it. One guy just laughed there like, oh, thank God she realises. It was the 10th person that had said it to me, right? One of them was me into the mirror every day. Looked into it, started getting diagnosed. I'll be honest, guys, it's not a huge surprise. I've always felt like an alien trapped in a beautiful woman's body. The rest of the show isn't a poignant unpacking of the diagnosis and how I came to terms with it, and then we all have a little cry. No. I'll just tell you where it affects me, right? I thought it'd be cracking to get to a point in comedy where people recognise you for your comedy and say they like your stuff. Then it started happening, and I was like, oh, I forgot I don't have any social skills off stage. A guy came up to me in the airport. He was like, hey, I've seen you on YouTube. I really like your stuff. In my head, when this happens, I'm always like, thank you so much. The way I responded to this guy, however, was by silently holding out both my hands and holding both his hands and just smiling in his face dementedly, like Kate Middleton when she meets a heroin addict at the opening of a community centre. Don't let that put you off chatting to me after. Just know I've been coached in how to talk to you by my autism therapist, Jemima.